Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to make a wooden thing for the pizza oven. So pizza oven came with that pizza peel and a metal thing to move things around, and I needed something longer, and this curved design really suits the inside of the pizza oven. Once you've lit a fire in the pizza oven, you then have to move the embers to the side, around the outside, and then you can slide in the pizza stone. So this is an introduction to laminating. So I've got this Iroko strips and cut them on the saw. They're about 2.5 mil thick. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend them, not around a former. I'm going to bend them sort of freestyle and freehand, and just try and create a shape that where the wood is bending around and it's tight enough, and just before it breaks with glue between, it'll hold together. It'll be pretty good. So there's four, as I say, 4 strips. Iroko, which is an oily timber, be great inside the pizza oven. I will keep it wet as well so that it can, it won't set on fire. I'm going to cut those in half, and actually I used 6 of the strips, so let's put those over there. And these 6 strips are going to be the strips that I'm going to use. It's about 1 meter long, 700, 800 mil long. So I've clamped it in with these blocks in the vise, the one end, and I've got all these strips like this. I'm going to get it and bend it around the sort of size of this bucket. The idea is that it fits inside the pizza oven, but I'm not going to actually bend it round the bucket because it's only a plastic bucket. I'm going to do it freehand. So I'm going to glue up these in there, let the glue go all over there in the strips, and I'm going to pull it around. That end's going to hold really tight between the blocks and clamps, and then these are going to slide around. These ends, as I curve it, they'll slide around, and that end they'll taper down from the longest on the inside to the shortest on the outside. And as I bend it round, we'll get it into a comfortable place. I'm going to use this ratchet strap. That will stop the outside strip from breaking, hopefully, and we can get some tension on it and control the outside. So here I am with some tight bond, which is a great glue for laminating timber. So nice wet coat in between each layer of wood, and then I've got them all there together, and you can see the glue oozing out, so that's great. And now I'm going to start bending it, and you can see the ratchet strap is cramped in there as well, so I can get some tension on that ratchet strap, and hopefully it won't bend. So here we go, and straight away you can see, even with the cramp on the end, they're starting to split open. So I need to remove that cramp, but as you pull them round, you see you're getting tension on it. You'll see this just now, it'll start to open up. There you go, on the right hand side it's starting to open up, but ignore that for a minute. We're concentrating on this end first. So yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? But we'll control that in a sec. So we pulled it round, and I've put some G clamps and some pads around this end to hold it in place. Now this is looking really good. There is a break just there, but I'll sort that after. And then what I've got is I've got a piece of wood that I've clamped to the bench. This is the change in direction now. I'm now going to go from that way, that curve there. Just make sure they're all down low. And I'm now going to curve it this way. So I've put some clamps on loosely with some pads. Not too tight at all. I want the wood to be able to move within those clamps. So I'll put it on loosely, and now I'm just going to pull it round. And there you go. And that's much better. So yeah, look, I put another ratchet strap around the outside of there, pulling that gently, feeling how the timber's reacting. It feels okay. It's sliding, so the glue's going in between the laminations really well. Keep pulling it round, and then I will cramp it onto the end of the block of wood when I'm in the right position. And you can test this. This is a great thing to do. You can see how it feels. A lot of glue coming out on that pivot point. Going to cramp that there like that. There you go. Tension on there. Bit of glue oozing out. And that's a great curve now. I think that shape's going to be really good inside the pizza oven. A few G-clamps, extra G-clamps around here and here. Needs another one there. I'll put another one there. Tension on that bit. Need another clamp there, so I can tighten these areas up now. And that will ensure I've got a good solid joint there between the laminations. That's it. So, a few more clamps and pads. The pads are bending, the squashing the timber a little bit, so I've just got to be wary of that. But it's going pretty good. There's a bit of a split on that one end, but these are holding really well. I'll leave it here for a few hours now in this position. Probably come back to it tomorrow, I think. As you can tell, I was doing a voiceover. I was talking as I was doing this, and I lost all that audio somewhere along the line. So yeah, apologies for this. I'm just going over this after. So this is about 6 hours later. I'd done some work on another job, which is a commission, and this is really quick to set up. This is. And then I thought, well, 6 hours. The glue under clamps takes about 30 minutes, half an hour for it to dry. Fully cured after about 24 hours. But what I'd got some dents on these pads. And I thought, well, if I've got the strap around it, I'm just going to start loosening them off because there's dents there in the wood. They'll get sanded down later. It's just a little tool for inside the pizza oven. But a great introduction to laminating timber, which, as I say, is gluing timber up. So remove these clamps. Not too tight. I need to get on with that job over there, as I'm saying there, but I think we'll just get these off and I'll show you what it looks like. I don't think I'm taking all of it off. And these pads, it's great to have some little pads around. There is a little bit of a gap there, and what that is that's where the saw has cut into one of the pieces slightly, and that's filled with glue, so I'm happy with that. So that's the good thing about in all the moving around when you're bending it around. Any gaps inside the laminations, as you're sliding the timber around, as it's curving slowly, the glue will ooze to these areas where there is a cavity. So don't know why I'm tightening that up. There you go, loosen it, honestly. So more clamps off. It's looking pretty good. I'm loving this shape. There is some pressure there, and it will. I think what I'll do is I'll just run a bit of water over some of these joints, where the pads have damaged the wood, and that will get rid of some of the marks. Now this bit behind those two clamps there, that's where it's split. I'll show you that in a sec. And that's what all the clamps and pads look like. And this is what the piece looks like. This was the following morning, and as you can see, this is a Sunday morning. As you can see, there's that split there, so not happy with that. I'm just going to plane over that and then add a small piece to cover it. It's just a tool, but as I say, great thing to do. And if you've got any of these pizza ovens like the Gosney or the Uni and others, those pizza ovens, they come with a couple of tools. But so here, look, I'd taken it back on that Sunday night, and I tried on that Saturday night, sorry, and I tried it out and it works pretty good. So now what I need to do is I just need to run a plane over this surface. It's a bit high in the middle, so I'll take a bit off this end and a bit off the other end, and then push it through the planer to get its thickness. So start by planing. So look, you can see it's pivoting there. If I turn it that way, it's hollow in the middle. So the plan is hollow there. So the plan is to take some off that end and some off that end, probably about 4mm off each end to get that flat. And then I can put it through the planer and it will all come out the same thickness. And this is minutes. This really is minutes to do this job. Right, so I've run the plane over it. and you can see the shavings by my plane there. There's still a little bit of twist. I'm not worried about a bit of twist. It's fine. It's gone through the thicknesser, so it's an even thickness. It's about 20mm thick. I've got that little bit of a split thing going on there, which is the next thing to sort out. So I've got a piece of oak, just an offcut line around. I'm going to plane that flat, and I'm going to glue that onto there, just to cover that, because it doesn't look very good. Somebody might get a splinter off it, so it's worth doing. Bit of camera wobble, sorry about that. And I'll position it in the top of the vise so that I can got easy access to it. And I'm just going to plane right over that crack. And the crack's only on that outer piece. So I'm trying it for see how flush it is, see how it fits. And it's pretty good. Just need to take it. So it's good to use a pencil just to highlight where you're starting and finishing so you can see your lines well. And I need to go take a bit off there, but I also need to go diagonally across there. That's it. Because I wasn't quite straight with it. But the wood isn't perfectly straight anyhow. It's twisted, as you saw. So a bit more across diagonally from there up to the pencil line and over there. It's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to go plane down into the next lamination. So it's plane into the second strip, just so that it's gripping not only to the first strip on the outside, but it's also gluing to the second strip as well, which will give it much stronger joint. So it'll help. Let's have a look at it, try the piece of wood on it. And yeah, it looks all right. Want to have a look? So you can see that. You can see the glue lines. You can see where it starts and finishes either end. And that piece of wood's long enough to glue it. And fill with glue. And it should be pretty good. We'll have a good joint there. That's great. Right, we've got some glue on it now on both surfaces. I'll put it on both just to make sure it goes into the oak well and it goes into the Iroko well. Just going to rub it around a bit on that joint. A rub joint will it will get rid of the air around it, and it will be mainly the glue. It will be all of the glue, no air inside. Rub it until it's in the right position. Let's just show you. So I can just tweak that a little bit just to make sure it's the same either side, and then hold that flat. And I'm going to leave it there for a few hours and forget about it and get back onto the commission. But before I show you that, I glued some strips onto the handle part. Some more Iroko again, plenty of glue, just cramped up. It's going to be an oval section for that handle. That handle's not straight neither because it's all bent and freehand curve. So yeah, leave that for a day or so. Back onto the commission. Right, change of shirt. You don't want to sit through 5 minutes of me shaping with the draw knife. So we'll just get this done a little bit quicker. You'll see some of the techniques. I'll just speed it up a bit. And you'll see just how I use the draw knife square on and at angles. We'll do another project with the draw knife one of the days. So let's have a look, see how we've done. There's some rough bits on there. Nothing too bad. We just go over it with a file and remove some of those hollows and some of those little splits, get them done out the way. Just speed this up so you don't have to sit and watch me with the file. Right, so the end of the handle I'm going to put some shape into it. I've done a couple of lines there, showing where the start and the finish of these little curved parts that I'm going to remove. So I'm going to remove these parts just to make it a little bit easier to hold. To get that shape, I've drawn around a cardboard tube, and I will just file to that line and make that work. So after I'd shaped the handle, I then went over it with some 80 grit sandpaper, some 120 grit sandpaper and a bit of 180 grit sandpaper. And this was to make sure there were no splinters and no sharp edges so that anybody would catch themselves on it. It's looking pretty good. Right, so now what I'm going to do is put a block here. I'm going to drill through there. That's my impression of a drill because I lost all the audio from this. And yeah, drilling through there into that piece of wood behind. That's just so that I can put a cord through it to hang it up. There you go, that'll do. Right, let's take it back, see if it works. So the pizza oven had been used a couple of days before. I let it cool down nice and steadily. We don't want anything, don't want to rush it, don't want to damage the pizza oven itself. So let it cool down gently, and as you can see, the tool's working great. Turn it around one way and you can pull it all the way out. And yeah, I'm pleased with that. Here you can see just inside how I'm doing it, scraping that pointed part all the way around the outside to make sure I've got all the bits of old wood that's come from there. Quick brush around, sweep it all out so that it's nice and clean, ready for a fire. So this one is at 800 degrees and fire has been lit in the middle, and this is what I'm using the stick for. Just push all of those embers and those flames right the way around the outside. I've got the vent open at the back. The wood does catch fire in a sec, but it's only on fire for a couple of seconds. I've got a bucket of water next to the pizza oven and I dip it in there occasionally. So yeah, it works really well. Look, you can see what's going on. It's just brilliant. And this is what it's all about. Get it all warmed up. This is a bit of garlic bread we did, and yeah, you can't beat it. So if you like this video, please comment, share, like, all the things. It makes a difference. YouTube isn't brilliant, and yeah, it'd be great to get a bit more recognition, a few more comments. You know, if I don't make money, if I get nice comments, that helps. If I can make a bit of money, then that's great. And if you can do the buy me a coffee or whatever way you can, the support is really welcome. These videos don't get to make themselves. They do take time. And thanks for watching. Cheers.